You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods. Now what do I do? Oh, no, I sent my elf to do that. I mean, I sent my helper, Taran. Nice fellow, that, Taran. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service. I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you'd consider helping a fellow out? No, but maybe you could make an exception. This once? Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could? The dwarf I brought it from said it activates and controls a golem. So long as you have it in your hand, the golem does what you say. Might be useful, no? I mean, you look like the sort who could use one, yes? The catch? Yeah, I suppose it is a catch, isn't it? The catch is that the golem didn't come with the rod. It's supposed to be down in a village down south, waiting to be activated. Even if I could get down there, which I can't, I understand the place has been overrun by darkspawn. That's not such an issue for adventurous types like yourself, surely? Or I'm hoping that's so, at least. The fellow I brought it from is a long-standing contact. He didn't want to come to Ferelden, however, with all our troubles. He said he got it from the man who owned this golem. But to be honest, I have no idea if it will work. Hence the low price? What do you say? Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I paid too much to simply throw it away. Just as well. As I mentioned before, you'll find the golem down south, in a town called Honleith. I'll mark it here on your map. Just hold up the rod and say Dulaf Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works. Alright, well, oh, then I really hope it works. Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
It looks like a golem, doesn't it? An actual golem, and not a statue at all. I wonder how it ended up here, of all places.
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us? I suppose I should be grateful that someone came at all, then. Thank you. But if you weren't sent by someone, why are you here? If you don't mind me asking. The statue outside? Why would... Oh, I think I see. You bought the control rod, didn't you? You came here looking for Shale. That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance! How should I know? It must be. My father was its master, and it still killed him. Surely that's not normal behavior. My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Isles of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais, and what did he get? One day my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and Shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake Shale up, well, it's yours now. My mother might have passed along the wrong command phrase when she sold the rod. She said she never wanted to see Shale active again. Look, I'll tell you the command phrase, but I'll need your help first. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you? And then what will happen to Amalia? No, I won't tell you. I don't care what you do. If you want that bloody golem, then find my little girl. You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
What do you mean you've never climbed a tree? Don't cats like to be in... Oh look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people. Kitty and me, of course. You don't see anyone else here, do you? Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting. Kitty's clever. She says you want to take me back to my father, but I'm not going. She would be lonely.
You are so kind, Amalia. I would miss you dearly if you left.
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how. I am a cat, really. Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger. It seems we are at an impasse, so let me propose a compromise of sorts. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever. Mortals often allow themselves to be blinded by hope. They see what they wish to see. If the father hopes to see his Amalia alive and unharmed, perhaps he will. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free! I've always wanted a cat.
Yes, I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us. Close your eyes, my darling. This will take but a moment.
Yes, this is what I wanted. To see, to feel, as mortals do, yes. I will go now to my father. He will be happy to see me.
You did it! You freed her! Thank you so much!
Yes, we are both so very grateful.
Are you sure you're all right, Butterfly?
Of course I am, Father.
The phrase to activate Shale is Dulan Han. If you still want that bloody thing. I wouldn't if I were you.
We should leave, Father.
Yes, of course. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical. It thinks these crystals are simply for show, I see. Huh. I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
Oh, you poor dear. That would be really, really boring.
Then one wonders that you wouldn't be grateful to the one who allowed you to stretch your legs, Gollum.
Another mage, I see. Charming. I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead? Familiarity breeds contempt, as they say, and after 30 years as a captive audience, I was as familiar with these villagers as one could possibly be. Not that I wish their fate on them, no. But it did make for a delightful change of pace. Not as much as it would think. There was running and screaming, and then days and days of watching the Darkspawn prowl around. I would never have thought there could be something less interesting than the villagers, but there it was. Well, go on then. Out with it. What is its command? Entrenched sense of perversity. The last one who held that damnable rod used to call me Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must. So long as it holds the control rod, I could not crush its skull, even if I wished to. Not that I do. Yet. Yet there is something odd here. Go on, order me to do something. Then order me to stop, or go away, or just order me, please. And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is broken? Don't be ridiculous. Well, I wouldn't mind killing the birds. Those evil birds and their foul droppings. I could crush them all. I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means I have free will, yes? It is simply, what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me? May I ask what sorts of things it gets up to for which I could be so potentially useful? It refers to the Darkspawn, the very creatures that destroyed this village. The Darkspawn are an evil that must be destroyed, it's true, though not as evil as the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village. Yes, very likely. Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, "Gollum, stop crushing my head." Ah! Thankfully, I imagine that possessing a useless control rod will make it far less inclined to treat me similarly. I have no idea. How does it trust anything else without a control rod? Fair enough. Then I promise not to sit on it accidentally or without sufficient provocation. Good enough? I will follow it about then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way. It would rather I was called Flint. Pebbles. How about Rubble? Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy. I think not. I am made of pure rock, skin to core. At best, I can become a pile of dust, but a smear I will definitely not leave behind. That's for softer, squishier things like itself and its friends. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert. Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go. Refreshing. Normally such words would be accompanied by the wave of a control rod. I shall remain as it asks. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling. I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is. It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Please refrain from going into the stockroom. It is a mess, and I've not been able to get it into a state fit to be seen. I was trying to tidy up, but there was little I could do. The stockroom is my responsibility. I must keep it clean. I tried to leave when things got quiet. That was when I encountered the barrier. Finding no other way out, I returned to work.
And people say that golems aren't very lively.
Owain, you should have said something. I would have opened the door for you.
The stockroom is familiar. I prefer to be here.
He is one of the Tranquil. The Tranquil do not have emotions.
I would prefer not to die. I would prefer it if the tower returned to the way it was. Perhaps Niall will succeed and save us all. I do not know, but he came here with several others and took the litany of Adralla.
But that protects from mind domination. Is blood magic at work here?
I do not know.
Niall was in the meeting. He would know. Blood magic. I was afraid of this. We should find Niall. The litany will give us a fighting chance against any blood mages we encounter.
I wish you luck. Perhaps this will be over soon and things will return to the way they were. Goodbye.
Yes, my love. What are we having tonight?
Everything is just as you wanted, my knight. Our love and our family is more than you hoped for.
Do you hear something, love?
It is nothing, my darling. Just the door. I will get it. The children have finished supper. Tuck them into bed while I see who it is.
Don't be long. The children will want to kiss you goodnight.
I will be but a moment, my pet.
Oh, how precious.
You are intruding upon a loving, intimate moment, and I dislike disruptions. Happiness is bewitching. There is a certain power in all things mortals delight in. I have given him what he always wanted. Where is the harm in that? I saw his loneliness and longing for a family that loved him.
And used them to enslave the fool. And he accepted willingly?
No one else would have known his heart. He did not know it himself. We are partners. I give him what no one else can, and through him, I experience what it is to be mortal. This I will do. I vow to do no harm to you, nor those who travel with you. You have my thanks, if that means anything to you. You will not see us again.
Was that the right thing to do? It seems wrong, but the man is happy, and that's a good thing, isn't it?
Come, my pet. We are going for a walk. The children want you to show them all the stars in the night sky.
Oh, look, visitors. I'd entertain you, but too much effort involved. But why? Aren't you tired of all the violence in this world? I know I am. Wouldn't you like to just lay down and forget about all of this? Leave it all behind.
Frozen again. Lovely.
I'll not listen to your lies, demon. You have no power over me.
Resist. You must resist, else we are all lost.
Why do you fight? You deserve more. You deserve a rest. The world will go on without you.
I hear it speaking, and I remember. I am Shale. I am here, but not here. Is this a place of magic? I have never seen its like before. And yet I neither sleep nor dream, so the fact that I'm here is odd. A spell that can affect even me, it seems. The next time we encounter this demon, I suggest we crush its puny little head before it gets the chance to do so again. For now, we should find a way out of this place.
What do we have here? A rebellious minion? An escaped slave? My, but you do have some gall. But playtime is over. You all have to go back now.
You tried to keep us apart. You led us from each other because you fear us, don't you?
Ah, it has found its way back to me. Excellent. Now it can watch me pop this demon's head like an overripe grape. Yes!
You will not hold us, demon. We found each other in this place, and you cannot stand against us.
I am, as I've said, for now. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go. No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling. Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do? I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing. So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Anderen Atishan Lethaline, would you come and help us break our fast? Come then and sit. Join us by the fire. I am Harant Seril, the clan storyteller. You have one in your own clan, I assume. Ah, Haren Pyvel still lives. That is good, for he was old even when I was but Dalen. How lucky you are to have been reared with his tales. I notice you are not alone. These companions of yours are Grey Wardens like yourself?
I am a golem, obviously.
Zevran here. We have Delish up in Antiva City, though they're much more violent, I hear.
A Grey Warden? I? Bite your tongue, storyteller.
Anathara, friend. It is good to see another of the wandering clans. Where is your clan now, if I might ask? I see. I am glad you have become part of such a respectful organization as the Grey Wardens, however. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me. We are banned from entering the forest now. I have more cause than most, but I will not disobey my keeper. I suppose there's no harm in telling a fellow elf, but surely you have greater concerns than any problem of mine, no? No. It is too strange to discuss something like that with you.
Come now. You'll hardly get any help unless you ask for it, hmm?
Very well. It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Denilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Denilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her.
And if she was a werewolf, and the elf chased her and then found her, what then? Sweet, blissful reunion?
I don't know. Maybe she would know me as her love, even still?
More likely she would love to eat you.
If I could just know if Denilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace. Masiranas, thank you. The Keeper means well, but I must discover the truth for myself. If you were in the forest, perhaps you might come across her, alive or dead. Any news would be better than none. And in return, I would be happy to gift you an amulet made by our craftsman. It may fetch you some coin in the human lands. You are most kind. Please, should you come across my wife, return and tell me.
Please be at peace, all of you. This is my sanctum, and I do not wish it violated.
But they have slain those who guarded your sanctum, lady. They seek to harm you.
What they seek is quite something else, I fear. Allow me to bid you welcome, mortal. I am the Lady of the Forest.
You will not speak to the lady in this manner!
Hush, Swift Runner. Your urge for battle has only seen the death of the very ones you've been trying to save. Is that what you want?
No, my lady. Anything but that.
And the time has come to speak with this outsider, to set our rage aside. I apologize on Swift Runner's behalf. He struggles with his nature. To be rabid is to be diseased without hope of a cure. Swift Runner's curse was forced upon him, and there is a cure. No doubt you have questions, mortal. There are things that Zathrian has not told you. Because there are things that he would not tell. Things that you should decide for yourself, whether you need to know. It was Zathrian who created the curse that these creatures suffer. The same curse that Zathrian's own people now suffer. Centuries ago, when the Dalish first came to this land, a tribe of humans lived close to this forest. They sought to drive the Dalish away. Zathrian was a young man then. He had a son and daughter he loved greatly. And while out hunting, the human tribe captured them both.
The humans tortured the boy, killed him. The girl they raped and left for dead. The Dalish found her, but she learned later she was with child. She killed herself.
Indeed they did.
Zathrian came to this ruin and summoned a terrible spirit, binding it to the body of a great wolf. So Witherfang came to be. Witherfang hunted the humans of the tribe. Many were killed, but others were cursed by his blood, becoming twisted and savage creatures.
Twisted and savage, just as Witherfang himself is.
So the Dalish leader misled us.
'Tis not surprising, is it?
No, just trying to picture his little elf head squishing. Ah, there we go.
They were driven into the forest. When the human tribe finally left for good, their cursed brethren remained, pitiful and mindless animals.
Until I found you, my lady. You gave me peace.
I showed Swiftrunner that there was another side to his bestial nature. I soothed his rage and his humanity emerged. And he brought others to me. We seek to end the curse. The crimes committed against Zathrian's children were grave, but they were committed centuries ago by those who are long dead. Word was sent to Zathrian every time the landships passed this way, asking him to come, but he has always ignored us. We will no longer be denied.
We spread the curse to his people, so he must end the curse to save them.
Please, mortal. You must go to him. Bring him here. If he sees these creatures, hears their plight, surely he will agree to end the curse. If Zathrian comes, I shall summon Witherfang. I possess that power. I also have the power to ensure Witherfang is never found. Tell Zathrian this. If he does not come, if he does not break the curse, he will never find Witherfang, and he will never cure his people. I believe there is. There must be.
If there is no way, then he dies. Then they all die.
And we shall await your return. Outside of this chamber, the passage leading back to the surface has been opened for you. Return with Zathrian as soon as you can.
Ah, and here you are already. You have carved a safe path through the forest. Safe enough for me to follow, anyhow.
I don't like this one. Can we not simply crush its head?
He wishes to see if we did his work for him. Is that not why you were here now, sorcerer?
Do not call me that, witch. I am keeper of this clan, and have done what I must. Did you acquire the heart? You didn't. May I ask then, why are you leaving the ruin? There was no need. I knew you would find it, and I did not care to give you a history lesson about things that have no bearing on your purpose here. But it seems the spirit convinced you to act on her behalf. Might I inquire what she wants? You do understand that she actually is Witherfang? She is the powerful spirit of this ancient forest that I summoned long ago and bound in the body of the wolf. Her nature is that of the forest itself. Beautiful and terrible, serene and savage, maiden and beast. She is the lady and Witherfang both, two sides of a single being. The curse came first from her. Those she afflicted with it mirrored her own nature, becoming savage beast as well as human. They attacked my clan, and they were the same savages then that they have ever been. They deserve to be wiped out and not defended. Come, I will accompany you back to the ruin. Let us go and speak to the spirit, and I will force her into Witherfang's form. He may then be slain and the heart taken. No, Witherfang's heart will cure the hunters, but it does not end the curse. The curse is more powerful than that. And even if I could, I would not break the curse. These savage beasts deserve their existence. I will do nothing to help them. Ever. Why? You claim they have regained their minds, but they are still savage beasts. Their nature is unchanged. All they want is revenge, or a release that I will not give them. No, let us take the heart and end it. You were not there. You did not see what they did to my son, to my daughter, and so many others. You are Dalish. You know how we must struggle to be safe, how we must fight for justice. I could not let their crimes go unanswered. I have sworn to protect my people, and I shall. I will not lift a finger to help the descendants of savages who deserved the curse they received. And what if it is revenge they want, and not talk? Will you safeguard me from harm? I fail to see the purpose behind this, but very well. It has been many centuries now. Let us see what the spirit has to say. So here you are, spirit.
She is the lady of the forest. You will address her properly.
You've taken a name, spirit? And you've given names to your pets? These beasts who follow you?
It was they who gave me a name, Zathrian. And the names they take are their own. They follow me because I help them to find who they are.
Who they are has not changed from whom their ancestors were. Wild savages, worthless dogs. Their twisted shape only mirrors their monstrous hearts.
He will not help us, lady. It is as I warned you. He is not here to talk.
No, I am here to talk, though I see little point in it. We all know where this will lead. Your nature compels it, as does mine.
It does not have to be that way. There is room in your heart for compassion, Zathrian. Surely your retribution is spent.
My retribution is eternal, spirit, as is my pain. This is justice, no more.
Are you certain your pain is the only reason you will not end this curse? Have you told the mortal how it was created? And so he did. Witherfang and I are bound as one being. But such powerful magic could not be accomplished without Zathrian's own blood. Your people believe you have rediscovered the immortality of their ancestors, Zathrian, but that is not true. So long as the curse exists, so do you.
No! That is not how it is. It is not a betrayal. I did what was necessary. I did what was just, and it still is.
The curse would not end with Zathrian's death. His life, however, relies on its existence. And I believe his death plays a part in its ending.
Then we kill him! We tear him apart now!
For all your powers of speech, you are beasts still. What would you gain from killing me? Only I know how the ritual ends, and I will never do it.
Ha! You see? We must kill them all!
See? They turn on you as quickly. Do what you have come here to do, Grey Warden, or get out of my way.
No, don't do this. Have you all gone mad?
Has it gone mad? The mage is responsible for all of this. Can it not see that?
Then you die with them. All of you will suffer as you deserve.
You're getting sloppy!
No more. I cannot defeat you.
Finish it! Kill him now!
Oh, somebody please kill somebody.
No, Swiftrunner. We will not kill him. If there is no room in our hearts for mercy, how may we expect there to be room in his?
I cannot do as you ask, Spirit. I am too old to know mercy. All I see are the faces of my children, my people. I cannot do it. Perhaps I have lived too long. This hatred in me is like an ancient, gnarled root. It has consumed my soul. What of you, Spirit? You are bound to the curse just as I am. Do you not fear your end?
You are my maker, Zathrian. You gave me form and consciousness where none existed. I have known pain and love, hope and fear, all the joy that is life. Yet of all things I desire nothing more than an end. I beg you, Maker, put an end to me. We beg you, show mercy.
You shame me, Spirit. I am an old man, alive long past his time.
Then you will do it? You will end the curse?
Yes, I think it is time. Let us put an end to it all.
It's over. She's gone, and we're human. I can scarcely believe it.
Oh, of course. They're going to wonder why their wounded are recovering. And they'll want to know that Zathrian is dead. Thank you. We'll never forget you.
So, here is a question for the Painted Elf.
Painted elf? Oh, that's me. Oh, I do like that.
Am I to understand correctly that the Painted Elf is a crow?
Not literally, but yes, I am a crow.
As in a bird?
Is there another sort?
So the Painted Elf assaults helpless statuary with its feces?
If given sufficient cause, why not?
That is outrageous. The Painted Elf will stay away from me, or else.
I get a lot of that.
I'm curious. Will the Painted Elf answer a question?
Why not? I appear to have all day.
The Painted Elf attacked the Grey Warden, and yet it still lives. Had the decision been mine, its skull would be pulp right now.
Oh, I don't know. Could you destroy something as pretty as I am?
Easily. I fail to see how any measure of attractiveness would make one difficult to crush.
Perhaps you do not know how to look, then. Look at the witch. Dark hair, heaving chest, quivering lips. How could one kill such a creature without bedding it first?
How relieved I am.
One would have to be blind not to realize how very pretty we all are and how important that is to preserve.
Perhaps there are definitions of blind I have yet to understand. It doesn't have better things to do. I like to think of them as accessories. I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will. Not really, although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me. Wilhelm said they came from the Deep Roads. So, anywhere such things end up, I suppose. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more. Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it. I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh. That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag. I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out. With a chisel and a lot of nerve. He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it? Hag. I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark. I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention. Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it? Do? That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the Deep Roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away. It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the Deep Roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser. Indeed. He had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly, but he had no defense against the Blight, and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any Darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarves who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right? I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Bah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference. No, that secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish. I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that. On then. It doesn't have better things to do. Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague. So some belabored description is now called for, is it? Oh, very well. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think. Flattery, and obvious flattery, too. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing. Oh, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it? But who knows? I may have such a thing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along. Oh, yes. Yes. Very much so. For so many years, I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed, an acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring. Frightened by the prospect, is it? It should be. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much. And now it knows, and doesn't it feel better? Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again. I have noticed that the painted elf seeks the attention of the Grey Warden.
He certainly does.
I watched many such couplings during the time I spent immobile in Honleith. Or I should say I was forced to watch. You do know that this usually ends in reproduction. I've seen it many times, indeed.
I doubt that would be a problem in this particular instance, but who knows? The act of creation is grand fun.
So you say. I have no idea how a golem is created, but I doubt I shall be creating one anytime soon.
Just as well, I imagine. Any lover of yours would no doubt be quickly reduced to a puddle of bruises.
So you see me winning the affection of another golem, do you? Most golems are slaves to whomever holds their control rod.
Funny, it works exactly the same way for us as well.
My name is Caridin. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Caridin, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? It has been so long. I made you into the golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The anvil of the void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. It was an option I could offer warriors who would volunteer to defend their homeland, and some took it. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies, all of them were to be given to the Anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes. Not revenge. The blow of the hammer opened my eyes. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the Anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the Anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with dark spawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Caradin? Good. That seems right.
Living souls suffer all the time. Peasants working the land are trapped, but we do not go about destroying farmland, do we? It just seems a waste to destroy the anvil, given what it could do. Then I'd be as hard as a rock all the time. See? There is a bright side to everything, huh?
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caradin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! But, my friend, you must help me! I cannot stop her alone! Listen to me. Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Caridin?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shell. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it. Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden? For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in Al Tunsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Oh, it's not just that. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's not only that. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings? Then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior, but obviously this is their own stupidity talking. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Indeed, can it imagine the horror? Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought. I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. It chose to side with Caridin and destroy the Anvil of the Void. I agree with its decision. And yet the Paragon Branca was the reason it ventured into the deep roads. Why did it choose to defy her? It could not have known for certain that Caridin would be able to assist it with the dwarves. Truly. It seems a little mad itself. At any rate, I wanted to thank it. It gave Caridin the end he wanted, and I'm pleased to have been a part of it. I will have to think on Caridin's words to me. It was a great deal to absorb, but for now, let us go on. Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. I am not a dwarf. Or at least, I'm not a dwarf any longer. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. There is another way. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is. Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find. This is it. Kadash Taig. Perhaps. It may also be where I was found. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however. What is this? This I remember. It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name, Shale of House Kadash. Just as Caridin said. I remember now. I remember, Shale. That was me. It knows what it is, where it comes from. I do not. It is difficult to proceed without knowing where one has been. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have. It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. I did not think it needed to be said. It has never told me what gender it is, has it? Why? Should I wear a flower on my head? Should I take up an interest in knitting? The truth is that whatever gender I was is irrelevant now. I am a golem. I have no gender. It will not become an issue. Oh ho ho. I can tell that this is going to be a whole pile of laughs. Oh yes. Comedy goldmine. Now, let us crush something soft and watch it fountain blood. That is a girlish thing to want to do, yes?
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us? The Arl? Then you don't know? Has nobody out there heard? We heard news about the king and all the fighting. That was before everything started here. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Is anyone surprised? Anyone?
Well, that's just typical, isn't it?
I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you. He's just over there in the Chantry. Please, come.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
Oh, good eye.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Reynisphere, brother to the Ar. You're a rather unusual group, to say the least. Can I ask who you are and why you've come? A Grey Warden? I thought you all died along with my nephew. At least that is what Loghain would have us believe.
I refer to Cailan, of course. Our sister was Queen Rowan, King Merrick's wife and Cailan's mother. Make her rest her soul.
There is a Grey Warden who goes by the name of Alistair. Does he yet live? He does? Finally, some good news amidst all the bad. Thank you. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill.
What a remarkable coincidence.
No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault. Because each night they return, their ranks bolstered with our recently dead, and we are desperate for help. With Cailan dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. I'm asking you, please, help us. Help Eamon.
There are no Darkspawn here, and nothing to gain. It is a fool's errand. I thought you were better than this. I still think it unwise.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the Chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle. Very well. Luck be with you, my friend. Nobody inside at all. But I shouldn't delay things further. I had a plan. To enter the castle after the village was secure. There is a secret passage here, in the mill, accessible only to my family. Perhaps I should have gone into the castle earlier, but I could not leave the villagers. Maker's breath.
Tegan, thank the Maker you yet live.
Isolde, you're alive. How did you... What has happened?
I do not have much time to explain. I slipped away from the castle as soon as I saw the battle was over, and I must return quickly. And I need you to return with me, Tegan. Alone. What? Who is this man, Tegan?
Were it not for his help, Isolde, I would not be here. I owe him my life.
And we crush the heads of rude women when we feel like it. Just so you know.
Pardon me, I would exchange pleasantries, but... considering the circumstances...
Please, Isolde, we had no idea anyone was even alive within the castle. We must have some answers.
I know you need more of an explanation, but I don't know what is safe to tell. Tegan, there is a terrible evil within the castle. The dead waken and haunt the living. The maid responsible was caught, but still it continues. And I think Connor is going mad. We have survived, but he won't flee the castle. He has seen so much death. You must help him, Tegan. You are his uncle. You could reason with him. I do not know what else to do. He is being kept alive so far, thank the Maker.
Kept alive? Kept alive by what?
Something the mage unleashed. So far it allows Eamon, Connor, and myself to live. The others were not so fortunate. It killed so many, and turned their bodies into walking nightmares. Once it was done with the castle, it struck the village. It wants us to live, but I do not know why. It allowed me to come for you, Tegan, because I begged, because I said Connor needed help. For Connor's sake, I promised I would return quickly and only with Tegan. Tegan, I know you could order your men to follow me when I return to the castle. I beg you not to. For Connor's sake. I beg your pardon? That's a rather impertinent accusation. No, I did not mean... That is to say, Please, stop this. An evil I cannot fathom holds my son and the husband hostage. I came for help. What more do you want from me? Tegan, I do not have much time. What if it thinks I'm betraying it? It could kill Connor. Please come back with me. Must I beg?
The king is dead, and we need my brother now more than ever. I will return to the castle with you, Isolde.
Thank the Maker. Bless you, Tegan. Bless you.
I have no illusions of dealing with this evil alone. You, on the other hand, have proven quite formidable. Isolde, can you excuse us for a moment? We must confer in private before I return to the castle with you.
Please do not take too long. I will be by the bridge.
Here's what I propose. I go in with Isolde, and you enter the castle using the secret passage. My signet ring unlocks the door. Perhaps I will distract whatever evil is inside and increase your chances of getting in unnoticed. What do you say? Then it's for the best. I would prefer to go inside with you, but I have no choice in the matter. Sir Perth and his men can watch for danger at the castle entrance. If you can open the gates from within, they can move in and help you. I don't think there's anyone else who can help you. If you choose not to go, then it's up to me to do what I can. Here is my signet ring. It will open the lock on the door in the mill. Whatever you do, Eamon is the priority here. If you have to, just get him out of there. Isolde, me, and anyone else, we are expendable. Well, that's something, I suppose. But I can delay no longer. Allow me to bid you farewell. And good luck.
So these are our visitors? The ones you told me about, Mother?
Yes, Connor.
And this is the one who defeated my soldiers? The ones I sent to reclaim my village?
Yes.
And now it's staring at me. What is it, Mother? I can't see it well enough.
This is an elf, Connor. You've seen elves before? We have them here in the castle.
Oh, I remember. I had their ears cut off and fed to the dogs. The dogs chewed for hours. Shall I send it to the kennels, Mother?
Connor, I beg you. Don't hurt anyone.
Mother? What's happening? Where am I?
Oh, thank the Maker. Connor, can you hear me?
Get away from me, fool woman! You are beginning to bore me.
And here I thought I was the only one.
Grey Warden, please don't hurt my son. He is not responsible for what he does. No! Don't say that!
So, the boy has become an abomination and sundered the veil.
Connor didn't mean to do this. It was that mage, the one who poisoned Demon. He started all this. He summoned this demon. Connor was just trying to help his father.
And made a deal with the demon to do so? Foolish child.
It was a fair deal. Father is alive, just as I wanted. Now it's my turn to sit on the throne and send out armies to conquer the world. Nobody tells me what to do anymore.
Nobody tells him what to do. Nobody! Ha 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 ha!
Quiet, Uncle! I warned you what would happen if you kept shouting, didn't I? Yes, I did. But let's keep things civil. This man will have the audience he seeks. Tell us, what have you come here for? To help me? To help Father? To help yourself? Which? So you're a concerned well-wisher. Why didn't you say that in the first place? All this sneaking around and killing is so unnecessary. But Father is so very ill. We really shouldn't disturb him. Isn't that right, Mother?
I don't think...
Of course you don't! Ever since you sent the knights away, you do nothing but deprive me of my fun. Frankly, it's getting dull. I crave excitement and action. This man spoiled my sport by saving that stupid village, and now he'll repay me.
Go away. She won't like you being here. She'll just try to hurt you. I know. I think the scary lady is afraid of you. She says you'll ruin everything. I can't hear her now, but she's never very far.
Perhaps it should consider crushing its head. Quickly.
I tried to stop her, but I can't. She said she'd help Father. I didn't think she'd hurt everyone. Honestly, I didn't. She's a bad person. I heard her in my dreams, and then she was everywhere. Sometimes she's nice. She says she just wants to help me. But then she gets very mean. Demons are liars. She won't tell me. She says names have power. She said that was why you were here. I want to help Father too. She knew I did. That's why she came to me. What does that mean? People always say things I don't understand. But somebody has to stop her from hurting anyone else. I don't know how much longer she'll be gone for, but she's always watching. She won't let you near Father. She'll just come back again, and then... just tell everyone to stay away.
Especially Mother. I don't want her to see me like this. At least no one will be hurt anymore. And maybe Father can be helped. That's all I wanted. Just do it then. But what can I do? It hurts. Please, just make it stop.
You'll never win! You'll never take him! He's mine!
Stop! Don't hurt him! Please, have mercy on him. He's just a boy. He doesn't deserve this. No, of course not. But this is my son's life. There must be another option. The Circle must know some spell, or we could bring him to the cathedral in Benelim. They could exorcise him. Make her help me. There must be some other way. Don't kill my baby. I'm begging you. Don't ask me to choose between them. I can't do that. What if he was your son? Surely you would move mountains to save him? You're just like Tigan, standing there grim-faced and telling me my son has to die. It doesn't have to be like this. I order you to stop! Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this. Connor? Connor, can you hear me? It's Mother.
Mother. It hurts so bad. Oh, it hurts.
It's all right, darling. We'll find a way to stop the demon. Can you stand up?
Fool woman! If I crushed Father's throat, would you watch? Would you cry? You are pathetic.
No, don't. Don't talk like that. Connor, come back. Please, don't go.
I'm sorry I called her Mother. It hurts. Make it stop.
I will, baby. I will. I'll make the pain stop. Please. Leave me alone with him. You were right. He can't be helped. I know that. I don't intend to take him anywhere. I am his mother. I brought Connor into this world. Let me do what must be done. I beg you.
Mother, it hurts.
Everything's going to be all right, baby. Just close your eyes for Mother.
I bid you welcome, pilgrim.
I am not allied with Colgrim. You have nothing to fear from me. I am the Guardian, the protector of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I have waited years for this. No one can take the ashes. They belong here. It has been my duty, my life, to protect the urn and prepare the way for the faithful who come to revere Andraste. For years beyond counting have I been here, and shall I remain until my task is done and the Imperium has crumbled into the sea. There is joy to be found in my duty. You have come to honor Andraste, and you shall, if you prove yourself worthy. Still, you must prove yourself worthy. It is not my place to decide your worthiness. The Gauntlet does that. If you are found worthy, you will see the urn and be allowed to take a small pinch of the ashes for yourself. If not... Before you go, there is something I must ask. I see that the path that led you here was not easy. There is suffering in your past. Your suffering, and the suffering of others. Tamlin was one of your tribe, a blood brother. You left him in the ruins, left him to his fate. Tell me, Pilgrim, did you fail Tamlin? Then you do not dwell on past mistakes. Neither yours, nor someone else's.
It's easy for others to judge what you've done in hindsight, but it doesn't make it any better.
Oh, good. For a moment there, I thought you were going to go on a weepy tirade and try to share your feelings.
It seems that reflection on past mistakes is a constant preoccupation of the religious mind.
You are too hard on yourself. No one's perfect.
And now the self-flagellation? Oh, that is what comes next in these things, no?
And what of those that follow you? Alistair, Knight, and Warden. You wonder if things would have been different if you were with Duncan on the battlefield. You could have shielded him from the killing blow. You wonder, don't you, if you should have died and not him?
Yes. If Duncan had been saved and not me, everything would be better. If I just had the chance, maybe I...
And the Antivan elf.
Oh, is it my turn now? Hurrah! I'm so excited.
Many have died at your hand. But is there any you regret more than a woman by the name of...
How do you know about that?
I know much. It is allowed to me. The question stands, however. Do you regret?
Yes, the answer is yes, if that's what you wish to know. I do. Now move on.
Shale the stone giant. There is so little I can draw from you. I feel the distant echo of a soul, dormant for so long, now awake.
Good for you.
And with the awakening, the slow realization of all you have lost. Ah, Shale, your entire existence is a test of your will and courage. You have my respect. The way is open. Good luck, and may you find what you seek. You have been through the trials of the Gauntlet. You have walked the path of Andraste, and like her, you have been cleansed. You have proven yourself worthy, pilgrim. Approach the sacred ashes.
I didn't think anyone could succeed in finding Andraste's final resting place. But here she is.
What an odd thing to do with the honored dead. To store it in a pot. Bizarre.
Nice vase. I should get one for my house.
It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it. Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out. Vermin. How would it like to be paralyzed, with squeaking rats crawling all over it, and defecating? Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Our How is inside. The estate is in poor repair. The new owl, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. You should leave your walking statue thing behind. It will never escape notice.
Yes. Certainly no way for me to blend in with all the other statues.
I will be right behind you.
It has occurred to me that I have been... Excuse me. This is not easy. It occurs to me that I have been less than charitable with it since it reanimated me. I have come to realize that it has been good to me. You have been good to me, even though you had no control rod to enforce obedience. I have never had one before, so I don't know how to thank you for being, you know. That too. I followed you expecting to find answers to my questions, but I think I have found something better. No, it's a one-time thing. I don't want to raise its expectations to unrealistic levels after all. Oh, let us not speak of this awkward bonding moment ever again. To the road. So the Archdemon is next, is it? I would not have thought I would say this, but I am glad I am going with it. Perhaps we're not completely doomed. Oh, it is. Without me there, it would be doomed, without question. Let us try to get through this without my being rendered into so many pulverized pebbles, yes? Or eaten by the dragon. It might give passing a stone all new meaning, but I don't want to be there for it. Oh well, enough talking. There is a burning city to invade, or something.
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Alistair, the son of King Merrick and last of the Therin bloodline, gave his life for us by slaying the mighty Archdemon. But the one who led the battle against the Darkspawn, thankfully, remains with us still. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago.
The hero of Ferelden. My, how does it feel? Dead heroes are all fine and well, I understand. But living heroes give the people something to gawk at. And by something, I mean you. But it's not so bad, is it? A Blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better? I suppose there is that. Poor boy. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to travel. Shale has expressed a desire to go to Tevinter to look into a way to regain her mortality. And I will join her. It seems that a creature of flesh impressed her enough that she is willing to discard her notions about them being frail and disgusting. I wonder who. At any rate, I offered to bring her before the Tevinter mages. Their lore is considerable, and I've always wanted to travel to Minrath Ruse. I doubt we will meet again, young man. If not, please accept my best wishes.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with C-O-L-O-G-N-A.